All
Hello.
right. Is it working? Oh yeah, we went. It is working. I can hear you. I can hear you. So
Okay, that's good.
thank you so much about that. I'm assuming, I don't know, turning it on and turning it back on fixed it. I guess the cord was not plugged in or anything. That's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
That's our first failed attempt, I guess.
Yes, that's been our first technical difficulty so far.
It was bound to happen.
We've been lucky that there hasn't been any other ones
Hmm.
yet. But
Yeah.
how so it's morning for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 8:30 in the morning. What time is
How's
it?
your it's
5:30.
yeah, 5:30.
Oh my god, it's dinner time for you guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
How's your morning been? Even though I'm sure you probably haven't been awake for that long.
No, literally. Woke up like an hour and a half ago. But yeah, all good. I've just been slightly nervous about this. And I don't know why. It's not even a nerve-wracking thing. I'm just like, I don't know, I've never done it before. So it just makes
Yeah.
me anxious.
It's
I relate to that. It's
Yeah.
like I have like the worst anxiety for unknowns. So
Yeah.
even if the thing isn't scary, because I haven't experienced it, I will like lose my mind until I do it. It's very funny.
Yeah.
it is. It's one of those weird things. I think no matter how many times you do it, it's that I guess you never know. It's like the first time, like really talking to someone or like meeting them, kind of. So it's that like really nerve-wracking thing. That I think it doesn't matter how like much of an expert you become in doing it. I don't think it ever goes away unless like it's you're seeing someone like talking to them again. But for the first time, it's always a bit nerve-wracking, I guess.
Yeah, it makes me so anxious. I don't know why. And then when I get into the situation, I'm like, I'm absolutely fine. I don't know why I was crash out.
Yeah, it's like the anticipation that it's horrible. It's like
Yeah.
I'll have like a dentist appointment and I'm like, oh my god, like I don't know what they're gonna do to me. And it's like a 15-minute appointment and it's always fine, but the anticipation always gets you.
Yeah, literally. I can never sleep the day before either, which is
Yeah.
so dramatic of me.
It's so true though. I think we're always just like preparing for like the worst case scenario instead of going, oh, it's gonna work out well. We're just like, oh no, what if like it goes terrible? Or like for example, the dentist, like, what if they have to rip out all my teeth? And it's just like, and then you start freaking out.
Yeah, that's like the one thing. It's like I realized that that's what I would always do is instead of being optimistic, I'd literally plan the
Yeah.
worst case scenario. And then in a way, it's like, am I manifesting the worst thing to happen? So it's like
Yeah.
forcing yourself to not think about how it could be bad. And then like, because if something's going to go wrong, you're going to have to deal with it either way. It's easier to not like, it's like that really cringy, like, it's not cringy, but like, what's the movie? It's like it's the ones after Harry Potter, the Fantastic Beasts one.
Oh
I
yeah,
always
yeah.
remember that quote with the the main character in it says it's like worrying is just suffering twice.
Yes.
And I always think about that.
That's so true. So funny.
It's funny. Something we were just saying about the dentist. It just like reminded me of I don't even know if I've told you this story. And it's just like I think that can happen too. Is like you can hear, I guess, a negative situation from someone else, and like not even realizing it just can play on your subconscious. Because like did I tell you about my nan and how like she went to the dentist?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so my nan, so like where she was like younger, she like went to the dentist and she was like there and they said, oh look, you're gonna have to get what's it called? A filling. But back in the day, I think they didn't give a filling, they kind of like got rid of the tooth or whatever. Because it was like considered I don't know, like it was rotten or decayed. Like this is like in the 19 like 30s.
Oh, she's not that old.
Yeah.
Way back when.
Yeah. Yeah, she was. Yeah, or like 1940s. She was a child when World War II was happening. Well, okay, so yeah, 1940s or whatever. Before she came to Australia, and
she's going to the dentist by herself in the 1930s.
Anyway, she went out, and then they did that, and then all of a sudden they were like, "Oh, is that okay?" And then she all of a sudden woke up, and like, like I guess she like went unconscious, woke up, and they had ended up, I guess, knocking her out to give her like anesthesia, and then they took out her whole top row of teeth, so she had to get dentures, and that's like horrified me ever since. Yeah.
As a
Like,
child.
Yeah, I reckon it was illegal. I'm pretty
What,
sure.
they're like selling your teeth?
No, because at school, when well, like our school had it. You have like the dentist people come through in like the trucks. No, seriously.
That
What?
sounds so dodgy.
That's horrifying.
No, when I was in school, you know how you have the people come and give you your immunizations.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also had people come through, and it was like meant to be like children's like dental checks. It was
No.
that happened at my school.
I think we had like someone come and teach us how to like would show us how to brush your teeth properly in like kindergarten or something.
Well, yeah, we had dental trucks, so I don't know. But I'm assuming that's what like my men went into. She said it was
Oh my god, on the side of the road.
it was like a dental. No, it was like a mobile dental truck that was like a part of this company. And then yeah, she went in there to get like the filling removed, and then yeah, she ended up losing her whole top teeth, so she's had like dentures. I know.
Oh my
Crazy.
god.
Crazy story, but
That's terrible.
that's like forever like left me fear of the dentist. So now every time when I have to go, I like am so anxious the day before. It's like, what if this is gonna happen to me? What if this is the day they gas me and take all my teeth?
That's like my new fear.
You
When
have to
she,
go in every time and be like, please don't take all my teeth.
it's like bring to start vlogging as soon as you walk in there. I'm on tape recording everything. Oh, it was. I'll never forget.
That was a really traumatizing start, guys.
I'm so sorry. I
I'm
forget.
joking.
I forget about it, but it's such a core memory because like I like one day like walked in like to ask her a question and she was brushing her teeth, but her teeth were in her hands, and I like got so scared. And then she's like, "Oh my gosh," because apparently she like hid it from like all the other grandchildren. And then I'm like, "Whoa, what's this mean? Like, what's going on?" And then she like explained the story to me, and I was like, "Oh no, that's
She had to
terrible."
like come out as having dentures.
Yeah, literally.
We'll have to like name this episode "They Took All My Teeth."
Yes. Oh, that's crazy.
Oh
What's
my
up?
god. That's funny.
Oh.
We didn't have that traumatizing stuff in school when we were younger. We literally like got weighed, which was kind of traumatizing, but we would like have our shots and stuff. And they would weigh you and then tell you if you're overweight. And I was like, thanks so much.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, they
That's
stopped doing it after a few years because I think it was just too traumatizing for all of us.
Yeah.
So
Like, how did that work? Did they like come along,
Like,
bring like a
publicly?
scale and just put it down? All right,
Yeah.
line up.
yeah, like we would queue up outside a door, would come in, get weighed. It was very weird. And I was like, why is this happening?
Strange.
That's so bad. That's
Yeah.
like that's like the curriculums like how to go. Okay, we're gonna solve obesity by doing this.
Yeah.
and then just
Yeah.
traumatizing children.
It's very strange. I remember like when we got into high school, it's so fascinating to think about that. Like, obviously, I never had anything like that, but it's kind of watching how little things like that progress through time. Because then, like, when I got into high school, I remember like all of a sudden it was like all the teachers would get the girls before we entered like roll call or like homeroom, and they'd like make sure to see if they had any like fake lashes on or
Yeah, we
they had their
that.
nails on, and it's like, no, what are you doing? Get rid of that. So it's just funny to think about all the random things they probably did back in the day.
We went out. It's like the like vice principal of my school was an ex-nun, however that works. So she would measure our skirts to make sure that they were a certain length. Yeah.
Chaotic.
Oh my god. We've been through it, guys. We really have.
Yeah.
So glad we're not at school anymore, that's for sure.
So good.
Well, after that exciting, I guess, intro and entrance, I just want to say thank you for jumping on and joining us today. Very excited to get to know you some more and for the audience to get to know you. So thank you.
My forehead.
Thank you for having me.
So we'll kind of just get into that like first question of just kind of, we would love to hear about, I guess, your journey to like throughout life, like kind of tell us a bit about yourself, a bit of like your interests, your hobbies, what kind of led you down into, I guess, creating content on Instagram or on any other platform, and I guess just like, yeah, who you are.
Oh, my lord. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not that incredibly exciting, to be fair, but I've always been like a creative in the sense that I liked drawing and I liked doing creative stuff because it wasn't as boring as everything else. You know, I wasn't very academic. I wasn't a maths major. I wasn't very good at anything like that. So I got into like drawing, being creative. And then that led me into college in my later years. And then I sort of like followed that through to uni, like a really quick shot of my background. Because I thought if you do something that you enjoy, then you'll always love it. Whereas if you just do something for the sake of it, then you're going to end up hating it and then changing your whole life trajectory. And that's just long. So I remember having a conversation with my sister and be like, what should I actually go and do in uni? Like, what do I do with my life? And there's everyone doing like psychology or something else. And then I was like, no, I'm going to go and do fashion and textiles. And I don't know why I did, because I never ended up enjoying it, even though I did at first. But then it came into like sort of like work, tedious, long hours, like boring mode. And I realized that I just get bored of stuff so easily, which is just a toxic trait of mine. So I then ended up like coming out of uni, just going into a normal job, and then ended up eventually in like an admin role and then project management. And then like for the past 2 years, I mean, like in and out of jobs. And then I just decided like, I'll just do this basically, which is like traumatizing in itself. Because like, you know, when you try something, you're like, I don't know if it's going to work. But I started the account like a couple of years ago when me and my boyfriend first moved out. And I just thought I would document my journey because I was coming off contraception. So I was on the pill and I was like crazy and hormonal. And I was like, I'm just going to come off that and just wing it and see cold turkey, see how it goes, which probably wasn't a good idea at the time. And I'll document it. So I made like my Instagram at first being all around like wellness and hormonal health and all of this. And I thought, while I'm learning, I can then share what I'm learning. And it was just pictures of me like in my face sharing carrot juice pictures, and it was so funny. And then eventually that moved into like, because I was using Korean skincare at the time anyway, to try and like battle my acne. And then yeah, I ended up sharing more skincare stuff, and then it turned into like a skincare page. And my name, Let the Soul Rest, kind of came from the fact that I just wanted to rest from all of like the hormonal stuff, the acne, just the drama about it all. I was like, I just need rest. And I was like, I need my soul, like my inner me to rest. So when I was like, yeah, let me rest. So let the soul rest. And my boyfriend calls me Soul as like a nickname as well. So I was like, okay, that fits perfect. And then I didn't have like a specific skincare or a beauty name or anything like that. So it kind of fits. So I didn't have to change my name like in the long term when I went from like hormonal wellness stuff to like skincare. And then yeah, over time that kind of developed into like just posting reels and posting reviews. And then I was like, oh my God, I can actually get like free stuff out of this. That would be so good, wouldn't it? And then so ended up getting like some gifted stuff, posting about that. And then yeah, it kind of led from one thing to another. And now I'm like posting multiple times a week, have like a following, which is bizarre to me because I'm such an introvert. Like if I had more than 20 people in a room with me, I'd be like, oh, I just want to go home and go to bed. But that's like me kind of in a snapshot of my journey from like way back when to now.
That's super interesting. That's super interesting about how you had like the whole hormonal thing. 'Cause I did the same thing. I like cold turkey went on birth control as well because I was like, I'm sick of this now. And I was pretty lucky because I was on the not to like start talking about birth control, but I was only on the mini pill, so I think I was lucky to have like less effects. But yeah, that's interesting. It's like you naturally like rolled into UGC.
I know, yeah, bizarre because I was like in project management and then went through like budget cuts, redundancies and that, and just thought, well, it took me so long to get a second job after the first round. I was like, this is just exhausting now, like mentally, physically. I'm just gonna carry on doing UGC because I was doing it part-time. And I kind of just fell into it randomly because I had like the audience there and I do my engagement and things like that. So I kind of just, at first I was like posting on socials, and then I had brands reach out to me and was like, we'd love you to create content for us. And I was like, oh, that's new. Like, I'll jump into that and see how that goes, essentially. And then, yeah, that led to one thing to another. And then I had like frequent people, like brands, message me every month. And I was like, oh, I'll put UGC in my bio now because I feel like I'm official, you know? And then I was able to create a portfolio out of that and put that in my Instagram. So I don't know. Yeah, I kind of fell into it randomly. And because I know some people like create UGC profiles first and they do that first to show off, and that's their portfolio. I kind of did it the opposite way around, where I like built a random Instagram of like hormonal health at first, and then skincare, and then eventually moved into like beauty because I also enjoyed that. And then, yeah, ended up randomly in UGC, and now I'm in this space that I'm still learning in. Like I am no expert, but it's nice, and there's like a nice community in there as well as like the skincare community and the makeup and beauty stuff, and then the wellness stuff as well, and then like UGC as a whole. And it's quite nice because they all merge into one on my Instagram, and it's nice seeing everyone's different journeys, which is makes me feel good as well.
I think it's so cool to kind of really, I think you're probably like one of the first people we've talked to who, yeah, it happened like so organically. And I think honestly, that's probably the best way for it to kind of happen, is because I like, yeah, for ourselves, we kind of found UGC and was like, oh, let's make an account. And then it's like, we were like really into like skincare. So same type of thing. We're like, oh, let's start with skincare. And I think it definitely makes the process, or we like did not do any research, so we like shot ourselves in the foot with that. But I think it like still makes the process, even doing research, a lot harder. And I think because then what I'm understanding is you also got would have got a lot of organic growth through that process too, because it was just kind of like that really nice unintentional domino effect. And it was also really nice to kind of, I guess, I've always wondered like where your name came from on social, so it's cool to really hear and see like how it all just blends in so perfectly. Like it really was just that fortunate like domino effect. And I think that's I guess put you in a really fortunate position in the UGC space, just as a creator in general.
Yeah, definitely. It was weird to I do have people ask me like, where's your name come from, because it's so random compared to other people's. And I'm like, it's just really about me resting, which makes it funnier because I mean, I love a nap and I love to sleep, but it just makes it funnier, the fact that my whole name is about me resting. And now I've made this into like my full-time job, and there is no rest for me, essentially.
Yeah, it's very like ironic, but it's like now I know what it means. It makes so much sense to me, and I like get it. It's like your name is like describes like the vibe.
Yeah, it's funnily enough, like obviously maybe by signs it wasn't as intentional, but it ended up being like your personal branding. Like really, it was so befitting to you, who you are as a person, and the people that get it can feel like they understand and connect with you, or even just relate to you. Because I know you love napping as well. You love resting, so it just like all fits in perfectly. And I think it's really, because I think sometimes when you come into it as just going, I'm going to be a UGC person, that's that thing you see a lot of beginners struggle with, is like, how do they fit in them personally into this portfolio or into this account to kind of show more of them, because they're so focused on, let me try and get more work to begin with. And then it makes it really hard to juggle.
Yeah, it was nice to jump into it organically and like have that growth already there, have that audience. So I get like a bit of both. I get people that want UGC, and then also people that want me to post on my socials because they like my engagement and they can see my stats and things like that. So it has helped overall like push me into the UGC side, and they can see that what my content's like and the quality and all of that. And then if they decide they like that I'm already putting out organically by myself, then they know that the work I'm going to produce for them is going to be the same standard, the same quality kind of thing. Unless it's me being chaotic on a random video, then obviously that's a bit different. But
do you have any intention of like I don't know if something that you thought about, but like I remember I had said to you one time, I had said like you should do YouTube. Like have you ever thought about like expanding, like is the trajectory to stay in UGC and see how much you can get out of that? Or have you kind of wanted, do you like the maybe not necessarily influencing route, but kind of expanding outside of UGC and keep that kind of organic, I guess, growth and like what you had been doing?
That's so funny you say that, because I've had a few people reach out to me on DMs and be like, if you created a YouTube, I would watch you all the time. I feel like you should do that. And I'm like, I am such an introverted person. I have nothing to show about my day. So even if it was like a vlog or me doing something, I feel like I would just be so awkward, because I know I would have to present something in order for it to be interesting. You know what I mean? And like, I don't know, I've thought about it before, and my boyfriend wants to start a YouTube separately for his stuff, which is quite fun. So I think while he's like thinking about that and growing, I'm going to see that process and probably be like, maybe I should dabble in that as well, and that will help me learn it. But yeah, I think it's just like I'm not active on TikTok as much. Like I'm purely an Instagram girly. And it's just because I can't handle like 2 social medias at once. It's just so mentally exhausting. And I'm like, if I added a YouTube on top of that, I think I would traumatize myself. Honestly, I think I would, like all of the research. And I know people are like, oh, if you just had set up a couple cameras and you film the same thing, you've then got like format for a YouTube and then TikTok and then Instagram and YouTube Shorts and all of that, which I so get. But at the same time, I'm like, that sometimes the editing process is so long that my brain's like, I can only do that for Instagram. And sometimes I can barely show up for Instagram. So I'm like, no, I'm just gonna be in like the UGC space and on Instagram for a bit and see where it takes me. The only annoying thing is that like obviously TikTok pays and Instagram doesn't. So the only way I'm being like paid through my Instagram obviously is by UGC, which is great. But I have thought about like jumping back into TikTok and then maybe eventually YouTube. And I see a lot of people have success with YouTube Shorts as well, like just the views in general. So I've been debating that as well, because I do have a YouTube and I do it for like yoga and Pilates when I can't be bothered, essentially. And I follow all of those accounts. But yeah, it's on my mind, and a few people have asked me, which I feel like is a compliment, because that's nice when someone asks like, are you going to go into YouTube? Because I would watch you yap, and like that's nice. But it's out there, it's in my mind, so maybe eventually I'd go into YouTube.
It's so true. Like I find it people make it seem so easy. It's like, oh, you just film one thing and then you cross-platform it onto every other social media thing. But it's like not that simple, because the algorithms are different. And it's even just like, again, you should always like edit things slightly different. And it just ends up being so difficult. Or like I could not even imagine us trying to film. I remember one time we were filming a video a couple of days ago, and then I was like trying to film like YouTube while we were filming that. And like, it was just so confusing. It was like, I'd start forgetting, I'd be like holding the camera, but then I'd be like watching like the shot that she's taking and focusing on that. And then I'd realize the camera's like pointing downwards and it just like does not work. It's chaotic.
It is chaotic.
I can't even like, what do you say? Like handle one social media by myself.
It's hard. Because we tried to get onto TikTok. We posted like 3 things that we posted from Instagram, and then all of a sudden, like, I even forgot we had the app. I like left it and I like clicked on it the other day, and it's just like, oh, you haven't posted in 2 months, and it's like all these like notifications. Some
random like man's like DM'd you. You have beautiful smile.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're always called like Michael John or something.
Yes. So funny. But I just to also say, it's like, I think it's interesting to also hear you kind of, because I know I have felt like that as well. It's kind of like when your life kind of, I guess, it's funny when you kind of go into making YouTube, you kind of, because you're watching other people, it feels like they're always doing things. And it's interesting because then you kind of go, oh, well.
I think it's a trick though.
It is. I agree. After like you showing us some
I
YouTubes.
think it's that because like I like, I guess, comfort, or I like went through a massive phase of comfort YouTubers, And then it's like I was realizing they weren't even doing anything.
Yeah.
But because it's like almost like they're creating that parasocial relationship where it's like they're kind of treating their channel like we're their friends. So they're literally doing just normal mundane tasks, but it's like oddly comforting.
It's funny. We there was one girl we were watching, and it took us like we watched like 6, 7, 8 in a row, and all of a sudden by like the 8th video, we realized we were like, oh my gosh, all she's doing is eating, driving in a car, and then like walking her dog, and it was just like we just watched like almost 3 hours of content of her doing the exact same thing, but it felt different every time.
Yeah.
And I guess to what maybe other people have said to you as well, I feel like you have that like personality where I think, yeah, you could just be doing something as simple as like, you know, cooking or whatever it may be, but because you have that really chatting and bubbly personality that you kind of get what's the word, like warped into that, so then it doesn't really matter that you're not doing much. So yeah, it would be cool to kind of,
because they're watching it like for you, they like the person. I think, and then it becomes less about what you're doing. Like there's definitely YouTubers where it's all about they're doing crazy things, and it's like, wow, like what are they doing today? Like the ones you like, but like the girlies like just caring about like life.
yeah.
You know?
What is your boyfriend? What is he wanting to, or your partner? What is he wanting to do on YouTube?
He wants to go into sharing his trading journey eventually. So
That'd be cool.
which is like completely new to us. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's cool.
I wanted you to do that.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't started trading yet, but if you did,
It's so hard. It's so like it's been a whole like over 2-year journey, and I do think when we start documenting it, it would like explain a lot about us as like a relationship and stuff. So yeah, he's looking into doing it, but he's also a little bit shy, and because he sees me post on Instagram for the past 2 years or so, he's now got that like vibe to start. It's made him, I've kind of influenced him, even though I would class myself as an influencer, to like start something and document his journey and things like that, which is, I think it's nice. So nice to have that like influence on each other as well, because there's lots of times where he pushes me to do stuff that I might not want to do just because I'm like, no, I'm shy, I don't want to do that. He's like, no, you should go to that event because you should network and you should do this and you should do that. And then I turn up like, hi, like really shy to these events, or I go on my own somewhere and I'm like, this is traumatizing, I literally don't leave the house. But yeah, it's nice. He's going to do that eventually, and we'll see where that goes.
That'd be cool, because what kind of gave us the idea, and I maybe he's seen something like this before or not, and it's like even a great way to start, because like he's wanting to do YouTube, like the YouTube shorts, and what I found was it was just a girl, and all she did was, it was like day one of like whatever trading, and she literally, all the video was, it was like a video of her standing in front of a mirror, and then it went to like her eating something, and then her in front of the computer, and it was just like, oh, I traded this much, saved everything in my like notes pad, took notes, and I made this much, or I didn't make this much, or I lost this much. And it was like really simple, but it was crazy to see actually how much engagement and views, because she was kind of sharing, I think she had like a Google Doc or like the work journal book she had, people could access. Something like really small like that is a great way to kind of, it's not too complicated, it's nothing too crazy to kind of like, you got to take a camera around, you're trying to film your whole life, but it's kind of that introductory thing. I don't know, it might be something that he might be interested in. It's exciting. I think it's cool. I like it's nice to hear that you guys are both pushing each other. It's always, I like, you know, it's being really nice having each other to be able to, I guess, bounce off of and have that support, because we don't really know anyone, I guess, in our immediate circle that does content creation. So it's really nice to also hear, like, for yourself, that, you know, you've been able to influence him and he's positively like backed you into situations that have, like, I guess, hopefully worked out for the best.
Yeah, definitely. It's nice to have that support, like close support as well, because some people just really don't get it. Like when I've explained it to my parents, they're just like, what does that mean? Like they don't get it. Like the first time I worked with a big brand and told my mum about it, she's like, am I going to see you on TV? I was like, no, mum, it's literally like an advert. You're a Facebook mum, you'll probably see it on Facebook. She's like, oh, okay. Like she had no idea what I was on about. But it's nice to like have him there, which is really nice. Influencing each other, and then when we have ideas, bouncing them off each other and stuff like that. I do find like the whole YouTube thing difficult because I feel like I have my best ideas at 2 a.m. and then I just go to sleep and I forget about them. So there is that sense of like, I don't know, I yap a lot on my stories on Instagram and I feel like that shows my personality. But then sometimes they're just so random that I'm like, I couldn't put that in a YouTube because it wouldn't make any sense. I'll just appear one day. It'll be me cooking, yapping about something completely random. And then you won't see me again for a week. And then it'll happen again. Like, that's how I do it.
I guess it makes like a, what would you call it? Like a surprise. It's like it's like you can make cameos in like his videos, or just like a random segment of you randomly just coming in and like having a yap session about something and then like disappearing again.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do eventually. I'll have like little cameos in his videos. And to be fair, I've got him in my content a lot more lately and got him doing stuff that he now feels fine doing and all of that, which is nice.
Yeah, it's been I love something like that one video you did of you two and he was guessing like the makeup things. That was like, really funny. I think it's really nice when you can like get your partner in a video and do a video like that together. It helps like, yeah, again, more people to kind of see more sides of you that maybe they don't get to see in maybe like some like brand videos.
Yeah, definitely. We've had UGC work from a brand that is like obsessed with him, and a lot of our videos are him. Like it went from them reaching out to me and then being like, oh, would you do something like couples content? And I was like, yeah, sure, I have a partner, blah blah blah. And then it ended up being like the next 7 videos after that was just purely him, and I was like, am I part of this anymore? Like,
that's so good.
I call him my unpaid talent because he's not getting paid for any of that. It's just his cameo, right? So
putting him to good work.
Putting him to work, yeah, which is great. And it makes him more comfortable in front of the camera as well. So it's all relative, isn't it? Like it'll get him comfortable enough for YouTube eventually. So
all working out how it's meant to.
Yeah, all intertwined, which I love that.
So we'd love to kind of hear what are like your 3 daily non-negotiables. So how do you what do you kind of make sure you fit in your everyday? As you said, you like to nap or rest, so maybe that would be one of them.
Yeah, instantly I was like, I do love to sleep. Oh yeah, if I don't sleep well enough, then everyone will realize it around me, and you can see it in my eyes and my face, which I think is funny because I can, like, I've recorded stories before my Instagram when I've been really tired, and I've looked back at them and been like, I look awful. I look like a zombie. Yeah, I'd say I have to have breakfast in the morning. Just like I used to just not have breakfast, and it just made me starving and made me cranky, and that just made me worse as a person. So I have like the same boring breakfast every day, but it's so healthy for me. I'm like, okay, oats and seeds and some honey, and then I'm good to go for the day. And that's like slow release because I learned that on my wellness journey when I started my Instagram. Like, I don't want my blood sugar to spike, so that's one of my non-negotiables. And then I don't know what my third would be because sometimes I'm just lazy and I don't want to do anything else. So I do want to make sure like I get my sleep, I get my breakfast, and I get my water, as mundane as that sounds. But I feel like as I'm getting older, the mundane things actually really help in day-to-day life. Like literally having enough water. Otherwise, I get headaches so easily otherwise. Like it's just, and then I don't want to go on Instagram, and then I don't want to engage, and then that's a whole thing. So I need to drink my water 100%.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's like that's like the same as me, where if it's like you're hitting like your foundational things,
Yeah.
and then if you don't satisfy those, it affects everything else. It's like I hit like 19, and all of a sudden it was like I had to get 9 hours of sleep. I had to get like this many liters of water, or like my whole day was just terrible. Yeah, headaches, all of that. And whether it's just like like a woman thing, but it's like when you're like young, it's like
You're invincible.
I was like hardly sleeping, like wasn't drinking water, and I was like great. And now it's like I feel like I'm already a grandma. By the time I'm like 60, I'm already going to be prepared.
Oh
It's
yeah.
I remember, like, it's just crazy to think about. Like, what we went out to a concert a few months ago, and like we ended up not getting home till like 2 or 3 a.m. And I had worked the day prior and started work at 3 a.m. So I kind of ended up being up for 24 hours, and like it was like the most taxing thing. I felt so tired. I felt lethargic. I like even getting home, you had to like catch a tram and like walking from the event. And like I was like literally dying. And it was just crazy because like I'm thinking about how like I used to stay up all night, or like you'd go to school and you'd have 2 hours sleep and you'd be fine. And it's just like what happened? Like, is it just like that thing when you get to a certain age and the like button in your body just goes, all right, time to like start disintegrating?
Or maybe it's like it's all catching up to you.
I have
Like
not thought about that.
could be what it is. It's like you didn't look after yourself at all, so now you're gonna like catch up.
That's so true. Because I guess like when you're younger, your body's not like really recognizing any of that, and then you get to that point where it's just that pile up, and then it's like, okay, time to like get with the program.
Yeah, I used to do like all-nighters for like studying or partying, either one, complete opposites. And be able to like survive off no sleep and all of this. And like hangovers I could deal with, but now if I have a hangover, oh my god, it's like 3 days to recover. I can't do it. So I like barely drink now because I'll be so dead otherwise. It's horrible. I do feel like when you hit like 24, 25, life just feels different. Like you just develop into a whole new person where you're like, everything is too taxing on my body. I need my sleep, I need to eat, and I need to rest basically in order to function as a human being. It's so funny. And it does feel like you're 80. Like I feel like I should take up crocheting and just start knitting myself cardigans already, because that's literally how I feel. And it would be a cute thing to do, to be fair.
Like make content about it.
You could just like lay down and just crochet yourself a blanket, like as you're laying down. It's that thing of like, what is it like when you turn 25 and your like prefrontal cortex like develops or whatever?
Yeah.
So what is something that you used to cringe at early in your content creation journey, but now you love?
Oh my god, taking photos, which is so sad. I used to just take photos of random things like my carrot juice and like half of my face, to be like, this is my acne for this week, for example, which is so stupid to think about. And then for some reason I had like this heavy influx of just making reels. Like for the past year and a bit, it was just I had to push out a reel because that's what Instagram wanted and all of this, which is really weird. And I don't know why I had that mindset. So I went from like posting photos to just posting reels. And now I'm back to posting photos. And I've kind of like enjoyed that process of just finding a healthy balance. Otherwise, I'm stressing too much about posting a reel. So I used to cringe about like posting photos and be like, I'd never do that again. I'm a reels girly and that's it. But it's so exhausting doing that all the time and having to create content when I could just lean over some products and take a photo and be like, done. That's it. Post that essentially. But yeah, now I'm like, I don't find it as cringy anymore. I'm like, actually, it's nice to just post something different. And because my content got a lot samey as well, there was a lot of same stuff in the reels. I'm at the same angle filming the same stuff, doing a swatch or something. So yeah, what I used to cringe at, kind of like, I don't take sideways photos of random parts of my face anymore, which is, I think, is progression here. But still taking like photos of things that I love. I think I've turned that kind of like cringy aspect, that I thought was cringy, into something that I actually really enjoy now, which is nice. And then I've started to create themes like, oh, I'll do a black and white theme, I'll do a pink and green theme, or just something like that. And that's like re-sparked my creativity as well, which is like why I even started the Instagram in the first place, just to like share stuff that I like. So it's a whole journey, whole process.
It's so true though. Like I love that that's like kind of, I guess, something that you've kind of fell back into, because it's so funny. It is. So we're so like centered, and we did the same thing. Well, like I guess it was more me. I pushed into, because it was like, yeah, Instagram loves reels, gotta go reels. And it's so funny because it's like Instagram was created for photos. Reels were not even a thing. It's like the actual app was to share photos, and that's what made it so unique, and that's what made it so special. And reels were only invented to like be able to keep up with TikTok. So it's like, I think it's really nice because we've kind of tried to like fall back into that of like, because you love taking photos. Like I used to never take photos ever. And then like we started dating, and then like she would always take photos, and then it made me like taking photos. And so we've kind of like gone back into that whole thing, like you said for yourself, like finding that rhythm of like taking photos again and enjoying the fun. Because I think it's something so creative about photos and what you can do with it compared to like reels can sometimes feel really forced unless you're like going out of your way to like make something spectacular. I think it can, like you said, feel really repetitive. But photos, yeah, they just have that unique vibe to them. There's like, not all photos are the same, I guess. Reels can become the same.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I think that photos get so slept on. To me, it's like they're easier, and like the whole process is like quicker. But I also think that it's like funny because like the story you were telling reminds me, like I had the flip version. So like when like I had a personal Instagram in like high school, you'd only post photos, and if someone posted a reel, it was like what? And it's like a montage of like their weekend or something. It was so strange. Like no one did that. Everyone only posted photos, never videos.
Yeah.
And I think that like starting this account, I had never like made a video like on Instagram, and I remember like I don't even know what our first one was. It was terrible.
Our first one was so funny. It was like just a video of us at dinner. We were wearing like a matching like red and green, and our drink was green, and it was just like something like cringy, like same colors, same love, or something really funny like
that. That's so cute. Yeah.
So I think it's been really funny, but it's like becoming a content creator. You see it all differently now, like posting social media. It's like all so different to me now to how I used to see it. So it's really funny. But I think it's great to have a mix of both photos and reels because they offer kind of two different experiences.
Yeah, photos are, I feel like, are always different. People take photos differently as well. Like something I would see and think, yeah, that looks great. That's really aesthetic. I wouldn't be able to take a photo like that myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see how other people capture life too, almost like art, which is nice.
So true. So now, what is something that I guess would be an unexpected fact that you think most people would be surprised hearing that about you?
I was like in school a hardcore goth. Like I dyed my hair red. It was like a bright red. I had like big thick eyeliner, like Amy Winehouse. I don't know if you know of her, but like she like thick eyeliner to the point my tutor at the time had to call my mum in and me into like a 1-to-1 and be like, look, Sarah, this eyeliner business is not good. And I was like, oh, okay. Like it's so funny. But yeah, I'd literally wake up every morning and just like draw my whole eyelids like black and then like flick and it wasn't even a good sharp eyeliner either. But to be fair, it taught me how to do eyeliner. So I was like pre-ready for everyone's eyeliner stage when they got, when they started to go clubbing and everyone wanted an eyeliner. I was like already there, already done. But it was honestly, it was traumatic. I'm glad I don't really have any photos from back then because I used to hate photos because I was so goth. I was like, don't take photos of me. And I had like a side fringe and all of this. It's so funny. But yeah, classic red hair, side fringe, wore nothing but black, hated the color pink. And now it's like the opposite way round. Like I've gone back to my natural hair color. Like I wear stuff that kind of brings out my features. And I love the color pink now. So whenever I tell people that, sometimes I get two reactions, right? I get a reaction where people are like, oh my God, I could never see you like that. And then I get the opposite reaction where people are like, yeah, I just got this vibe from you that you've got like a dark past or something. And I'm like, excuse me? Like, yeah, you look like you used to be some like goth or emo. And I'm like, oh my God, thanks so much.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to like ask someone who's like, you know, like a recovered goth, a retired goth, like to put it like simply, it's like, why do you think you were a goth? Like, I find it like as someone who wasn't a goth, but it intrigues me. We were literally
watching South Park yesterday, and there's an episode, and like Stan becomes like a goth, and it was so funny.
Yeah.
We were sitting there, he's like, "Oh my gosh, is that what goths are actually like?" And she's like, "I didn't know."
But
That's so
I find
funny.
it really fascinating. I want to hear like your like POV story on like how a goth is born.
Oh my God. Honestly, I kind of like, as people grew into their teenage years and everyone found their unique style as such, I leaned more to like the rock and roll kind of metal side of things. Like I would have like cargo jeans with chain on and all of that, and I wanted like big chunky shoes and all of it. And it was like I liked those kind of clothes, and I liked wearing the eyeliner. And then I thought like I want to look different, so I'll dye my hair red and all of this. So it kind of like slowly I ended up merging into a goth without realizing. And then people were like, "You're so emo, you're so goth," and all of this at me in school. And I was like, "Yeah, do you know what? I do look like one, so I don't blame you for saying that." Like, and people used to use it as an insult, but I never took it as an insult because I was like, "Yeah, like whatever. That's what I look like." But I do find like all the goths nowadays, they have sharp eyeliner, they've got micro eyebrows, like they look so good. Whereas I, way back when, was like messy, crazy eyeliner. My hair was all back combed and everything, like loads of hairspray. My hair was just a frizzy mess. Like I looked chaotic. And like I don't really have like a coming out as goth story, which is quite funny. I just kind of like literally fell into it as such. And then I realized as I got older that I kind of liked like other music, and then I like a bit of everything, to be fair. And then it was hard to find my style, so I found that I hid behind black clothes a lot as well. So when I was like, I don't know, going into late teens and into my early 20s, I realized like I liked different clothes and I liked a bit of color, and I liked to pop a color here and there in my outfits and stuff. And then I realized like when I would get my hair done, I was damaging it, and then basically reverted back to trying to get my natural color back. But it's really hard to pull red out of hair as well. Like just the color is so deep in there. So I had to grow a lot of that out and chopped my hair off and had like a bob at one point. That was awful. That. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of just fell into it, which sounds silly to say, and then grew out of it as such as I became an adult. I was like, and like no hate to anyone that still loves goth stuff. Like I love the look and I love people wearing the eyeliner and all of that, and I do love an eyeliner myself. But yeah, I just kind of grew out of it and was like, no, I like being more girly girl now, and I like pink and I like X, Y, and Z. So yeah, I don't know. I don't have like a South Park kind of emo story, you know.
I think that's kind of like spot on though, like what you said. I think a lot of people, because funny now, I think about someone I went to school with. It like it is, you kind of like maybe get into it by that genre of music, because that was kind of, I guess, like that was what was funny. He was kind of like listening to that, and then he as he like was sharing that with me, like I was listening to a bit of it. But it's like for me it was just the music, but then I watched him, he like started to like dress like what they
did have the side fringe.
Yeah, but that was because of Justin Bieber. That wasn't like because of like that was like Justin Bieber. Anyway, he and like he it was funny because then he started to want to dress like them, and then he just kind of, I guess, fell into it too. Like it wasn't like something he woke up, he's like, I'm depressed, I'm goth. It was just like, I love this music. I start going to their concerts, and then you start like associating with that environment and the people. Yeah, it is. I think that's funny enough how a lot of people, I guess, fall into a bit. I guess it's funny, like South Park or even movies, it's that whole stereotype thing. You get seen like a stereotype of like, this particular look is all black, and I guess that's what you just kind of associate it with. But 9 times out of 10, it's like influence, really.
Yeah, and you like start hanging around with people, like you said, that have similar interests, and then you vibe off each other, and then you're like, should I dye my hair red? Should I wear this? Should I wear that? And then you kind of like form your own like identities as little goths and running around together, and it's just cute. Like you got a little community going on.
Yeah.
It's all about a sense of belonging, really
Yeah.
and truly. We all kind of go through life trying to fit in somewhere, and we like morph into whoever our surroundings are at the time. Well, this one, now knowing that, and that was really interesting, and I definitely would not have expected that. I'm now really intrigued to hear what this answer will be. If you were arrested with no explanation, what would your friends assume you did?
Oh my gosh. Probably it would be like an aspect of me being angry, which sounds really bad. Because I just have like, I hate injustice. And this is also one of the reasons why I'm like, do I want to post on TikTok? Because I feel like I'd argue with everyone that said anything mean to me in my comments. That's what I'm like. And there's been creators on here that I've got like mean comments, and I'm straight in there like finding out about this person, insulting them and their hairline, like all of that jazz. I'm like, no, you cannot be coming on here and just being mean online. So I feel like they'd have to bail me out on some sort of charges of me, some like battery charges, or just me being angry about something and being like, no, I want justice. Like this person's horrible. Like, because a lot of people online, they are really mean and really horrible, and they just like haven't had the consequences to their actions. That's I feel like kind of because I am like a really nice person, and I am a nice person, a kind person. But yeah, I just have this sense of like justice, and that it angers me when people are just like really horrible and really rude as beings and feel the need to like say all of this horrible stuff online and all of that. And I remember talking to my friend about it, and she's like, yeah, I'd have to bail you out for like attacking people and all of this. I don't go around attacking people, thanks. I've never done that in my life.
It probably more like,
I can just imagine you. It's like someone like writes a comment, and you're like, "Oh my god!" and you're like running out to like go find them.
I'm searching them up on LinkedIn, online, and I'm like, "This is where they live," and all of that. And that's so funny because I see people do that on TikTok, where they find out like someone who's been rude to them or something on their comments, and they find out their workplace, and then they report it to their manager, and then they lose their job. And I'm just like, oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah, I like fell into this hole. It was like a woman, she was like a middle-aged woman, like called someone a fat pig. She just like left the comment fat pig, and then the girl, the woman was either like a teacher. No, she's a psychologist. She was a psychologist. And then the girl whose video she commented on was like, I'm taking her down. Like, if you're out here commenting on a stranger, fat pig, you cannot be a psychologist.
No.
So she like literally tracked her down and ended up getting her like whatever it is for like, I know it's like not just barred,
yeah, that's a
like,
lawyer, but like fired, I guess.
whatever they do for psychologists to like investigate them or something. But it was crazy, crazy.
Oh my god. Yeah, you can't be like, if you're getting clients, you can't be then talking about people like that online, because what are you saying about your clients?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I think it's so funny. It's like the nicest people are like that. You feel so deeply when someone does something mean or wrong, and then it's like hard to not fall into then the whole of, especially online, of people being like, oh, you need to calm down, like chill out. It's like, no, it's like you're literally like following your like moral compass of like, because it feels so wrong. It's like, I like avoid, we're really lucky. Like, I just don't think we have enough engagement to get hate. But like, we're like lucky, no one's hating on us.
Wait, someone.
Oh, like one guy once, but it was so funny.
Yeah, it was actually so bad. It was like one of the Korean skincare beauty videos. I just like randomly, it was like cleanser balm and that, so I like put makeup on and like did like a really shabby job, and then like used the cleansing balm and that. And then like this random dude just like off fake account, just like comments and writes like, why are you wearing that? And I was like,
get the girl to do
oh
it.
yeah, get the girl to do it. And I was like, I thought I looked beautiful. He goes, no, that's a girl's thing. I mean, he's just like really just shabby, weird. It was funny.
Just
That's
weird
what it was.
masculinity. Mm.
I think what was funny was it was a fake account, so it made it interesting to know like it's like something that I've noticed lately in the UGC community, which has been really funny. Randomly, we'll get like a fake account, and but they'll pretend to be like someone normal, like a I was gonna say a civilian, but that doesn't make sense. Or just like a non-creator, and then you like click, they've got like no posts, they've got like a few followers, but they've then followed like 50 UGC people, and it's interesting, makes you wonder like,
damn,
is it like a different UGC creator who's like making this account to like
they're
see
testing us.
things, or is it like it's like who is it? Because it's so random to like you click on it, it's like oh yeah, it's like all 50 mutuals. It's like that's so bizarre. Like, who is this person?
Yeah, that's so
interesting.
true. I've had that, and it's creepy, isn't it? I'm like, who's lurking behind that screen?
Conspiracy theory.
Yeah. There'll be like a documentary about it in a few years, and we'll be like, that makes sense now because it's creepy, and it's always
they found one of us.
In fact, it's like that. Was it TikTok? Yeah, that Netflix like TikTok documentary, and it was like how the girl went missing, and like she joined like some like cult through TikTok, and then like the family was like, "No, please come back."
Yeah, the poor family was like, "We haven't seen her in like a year. Like, please, like."
And then they like
us.
went into it, and they found out like there was like all these like 10 other people that have joined like this cult through TikTok.
Yeah, they were like living in it together.
Yeah, really strange, really strange.
Oh, that sounds traumatic.
Well, let's kind of try and take it to a bit more of a light-hearted space. If you were a character in a fantasy world, what would your magical powers be?
Oh, easy answer. I would be able to shapeshift because
that's a good one.
then you can shapeshift into anything. Because I've had questions like this before on like workplace icebreakers and stuff. And some people are like, oh, I would prefer to fly. And I'm like, but if you could shapeshift, you could fly. You could turn into a bird. You can then, like, if you had a cat, you can turn into a cat and communicate with them and be like, stop peeing all over my bloody house and stuff like that. You know, like you can then turn into an animal, communicate with them, and it'll be like a whole different life and whole different experience. Like if I just wanted to talk to the pigeon on my balcony, I could just turn into a pigeon. Like how bizarre. So shapeshifting would be like I feel like that would be cool. And then because some people go for like invisibility, and I'm like, but you can kind of just shapeshift into like a fly, and you're basically invisible anyway. Like annoying, but invisible. So no one's really going to pay attention to a fly, are they? So you can just like, and you can like no public transport. You don't have to do all of that. I can just turn into a pigeon, fly to my mate's house, turn up, knock on the door, like literally just be. I can just fly through the letterbox. Like
that's like the best answer. That's the loophole answer.
Yeah,
that's like it's so funny. I've always like get this question. I'm always stumped, and I'm like trying to think of like every superhero movie, every like cartoon. What power could I want? And it's like that is like the ideal power. It's like it literally solves any problem, any like water creature, any air creature, anything. You be a jaguar, you run really fast, cheetah, get anywhere. It really does solve everything.
Yeah.
I think you broke the question.
Yeah, you debunked the question.
Hacked it. Yeah. Everyone's gonna want to shapeshift now.
Literally, just now everyone on Earth is just a shapeshifter.
I would find it so hard to like decide. Like, I'd be so many different things in a day because I just want to try everything.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever be myself. I'd just be like a lion or something, and like to have fur in the winter, and then just never have to use heating. Like perfect. Never have to pay that bill. Done. It's so good. I'd just figure out random ways to just like live and like turn into, I don't know, a fly and steal something from the supermarket and be like, yeah, don't have to pay for that either.
Yes. That's like literally, that's so good. You've like literally worked out every possible way that is the best answer. And I'm like here for that.
Yeah, there's like nothing like that you can't really do.
No.
Yeah. You can tell that I've thought about it a lot.
What was that?
You can tell that I've thought about it a lot in my spare time.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that. I think that's like perfect. If there was a museum about you and you had a gift shop attached, what would your souvenirs be?
I love trinkets and stuff like that, like little things. Like whenever I go abroad, I try and visit a museum or like a zoo or something where I can like get a souvenir and take that home. And it used to be like key rings or shot glasses. And then I realized that I can't deal with a hangover. So it stopped being shot glasses and started being key rings. And like fridge magnets and stuff. But like I was recently around my mates doing like air dried clay, and I made this like, which we still have to paint, this like lily pad with a little frog on it that had butt cheeks, and I just thought it was so cute. And like I would have stuff like that in my like little museum gift shop of like things that are, I don't know, because whenever I find I go into these gift shops, they're all like kind of the same items. Like like you get a cup or something like this, and then I don't know, a scarf or something like that, and it's all samey and there's nothing really new. So I'd want like little trinkets that could be like multi-use. So there'd be cute decor, like the lily pad could hold your rings and stuff like that. But then you've got like the frog on it with butt cheeks. That's cute. And whenever you look at it, you're going to be like, how cute is that frog? It's got butt cheeks. Like, that's so cute. I would just have an array of like things all over the shop like that, little knickknacks where you can just buy something small and cute and bring it home with you, and it's not going to like cost £50 for something outrageous that they charge in gift shops now. And I feel like that would just show who I am as a person, because I'd have the most randomest stuff in there. It will be cute.
That like reminds me, I don't know if you've seen I think there's quite a few accounts, but I always send them to you. It's like someone's animated and it's like meant to replicate like a couple, but whether it's a type of animal or there's like that one where it's like they're meant to be like little bobas and they've just got massive bum. But like they're cute little characters, but they've just got like massive bum cheeks.
Yeah, I know you.
And they're just like hitting each other's bum cheeks, but it's like really cute.
Yeah, I think I know what you're about. There's a guy on TikTok that does like pottery and stuff, and he's always in like a studio, and he makes these really cute ornaments. I feel like he just makes them for himself, to be fair, but they're always animals, and they're like, they look animated in like silly ways. So there'll be like a pigeon with a really round body and a really thin neck and like a big beak and stuff, but then he will turn them round and they'll just have these tiny butt cheeks, and I'm like, that's so funny, and it's so cute.
It's funny. It's like, funnily enough, like a bomb, I guess, like in that manner, like on animals and things like that, and like house decors, or even like, it's like when you see those
it's like sunny angels. So it's sunny angels.
Yeah, the sunny angels have like the little bombs. It's like it is. It's like funny and wholesome. It's like one of those things that we all have, and it's just like kind of adds that little bit of character or quirkiness to it. I think it's really, it's fun. It's cool. I like your answer, because it's kind of like unique in the way that, you know, you're right, lots of museums have like the same boring thing. Like we went to the Egyptian museum, and what did we see before that? We saw something before.
Oh, you mean the Melbourne Museum?
Yeah, but they did the Egyptian thing, and we saw one thing I thought before that, and it was like the exact same like gift items, but just different theme. It was like, well, where's like the creativity in this?
Everything like $100, and it's like a hat. It's like, oh
yeah, it's so outrageous for something so boring.
So I think making something unique and fun and quirky, that like, I think house decor is like super underrated. I think people overcomplicate house decor when it can just be something really simple, like you said, a frog with a cute little butt cheek and something for your rings or whatever. It's like brings spice and character to your house or your room or wherever it is. I love house decor.
Someone should like invent, like, this is probably not like a good idea, but like a phone case that's got like little butt cheeks.
That'd be funny.
Bum cheeks.
Right in the corner.
Yeah.
It's like you know how you have the what is that? The thing where your fingers are meant to sit into? So
pop socket.
Yeah, but it's just like a little butt cheek.
Just pops out.
Yeah. If you could teleport anywhere right now for a cozy reset, where would you go?
I would class cozy as like just somewhere warm and like hot. So I would be somewhere like where the sun shines, like the Maldives or something, just somewhere hot where I can be a lizard on the beach, literally on the beach, and just sunbathe and just lounge and have like a buffet that's like unlimited fruit, like fresh fruit, and that'll just make me feel good. And I can jump in the sea or by the pool, and then I'll just be like unlimited pina coladas, and that would just be living my life. Like so, I've been on holiday in so long, that's just what I dream about every night. Like
yeah, that's like
just somewhere.
Oh, sorry, it's like a stereotypical vacation type of thing.
Yeah, and it sounds so boring, but I just like going back to my name. I just want to rest. I just want to rest. Like I want to nap in the sun, get a tan, feel good about it, eat my body weight in like random buffet food, and then like go out for the evening partying, and then just do it all again the next day with like a share bag of crisps next to me in bed. Like perfect. That's the perfect day.
That's like, I'm excited. I remember when like, because we're gonna overseas, and then we're finishing like our trip in Bali. And I remember someone I went to school with in my class, she went to Bali, and she came back and she was showing everyone like similar type of thing. It was like wherever they were staying, it was like, so they had like the pool, like sunbathing tanning section, and then you jump in the pool, and within the like pool,
the bar,
it's like a bar, and you just get like fruit, and like
and you
can
like swim up to the bar,
and then you have like these little seat things like kind of like stood out that you can get and get your little mocktail or cocktail, and then have you like fruit.
That's
and it just looks so nice. Like that's the dream.
That is living life. Like that's where I want to be in a year's time, doing that every day, just living life. Little swim up to the bar, little piece of fruit, and all of that. Because whenever I go on holiday and we book these like all-inclusive places, there's always like 2 times a day where someone will come out with a platter of fresh fruit, and I'm like, oh, and I get so excited for it, like it's my sweet treat of the day, and I'm like, please, yes, come over here, and I'm like waiting for my little cocktail stick of like all different fruits. Oh, it's so nice.
That's like my type of drinking. It's like done all the partying drinking. I literally can't handle that now. So like the nice like
vacation
drinking.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, now we're kind of like getting to like the wisdom part, the little fun area to kind of to wrap it up, to just kind of let people that are listening kind of share, or not share, you share, and then hear what wisdom you have to give. That tongue twisted. I cannot speak this. Well, the first question is, has there been any advice you always come back to that like has helped you throughout your life?
Yes. Oh my God. To not crash out and just wait 24 hours. There's been so many times, especially over the past few months, like in this UGC journey, and like not being paid on time, and just like waiting for works coming and things like that, where I wanted to just like have a mini B and just crash out, have a breakdown just on a random Tuesday or something like that. And it was quite funny because I was telling my friend about it the other day. Like I was scrolling through, I was like so on the verge of a mental breakdown, and I was scrolling through TikTok, and you know those tarot readers that come up, it's like straight away one of them said, don't break down right now, don't have that mental breakdown right now. And I was like, do you know what, I just won't. And it was just hilarious, the timing of it. So I've like always just promised myself, like if I feel like crashing out, I will just wait 24 hours, because usually in that 24 hours, something happens that resolves my issue and like just makes me feel better. There's something always positive around the corner that happens. Like there might be a storm coming, but a path will clear a way for you as such. So I feel like, yeah, just hold on. Don't wait. Don't do that mentee B right now. Don't crash out. It's fine. You will be fine. And something positive will happen. Like, and it always does. Whenever I listen to that advice, I'm always like, okay, I just know something is going to be meant for me and is going to come to me within 24 hours, and everything will be okay. And it always has. So that's like my advice I always go back to.
I like that. I think that's really important too, because I think giving yourself that 24 hours, like even on like the flip side of like, let's say nothing kind of arises, no path is found, you've given yourself that 24 hours to go, well, obviously whatever's happening, you know, it is a lot, and you kind of are now giving yourself that permission to go, it is okay. It is okay. I can kind of just crash out, take that break, maybe just like walk away from everything. Because I'll remember like a piece of advice that I got given, which was like, you know, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to be angry. Instead of like trying to like avoid it, you know, sit with it for a moment, understand like where it's coming from, why you're feeling it, and like, you know, don't let it like completely take over and then ruin your like day or ruin your week or whatever it may be, or ruin an opportunity. But at least like sit with it, if that makes sense. I think that's kind of like blends into what you're saying. That yeah, you sat with it for 24 hours and, you know, no path has arisen. If a path has arisen, that's amazing, and you know, you're good. And then if it doesn't, then you know, it's okay. We're allowed to have moments of like, I guess, downtime.
Yeah, no, it really helps. It does help, like just having, because it helps you just process your emotions for that 24 hours. And then by the time where you sit there and if nothing happens, you rethink about what you were like 24 hours ago. You're like, oh, actually, life's not as bad. Everything will be okay. And you kind of just have a better mindset to go forward with anyway. So it's worth like just waiting it out and not crashing out, you know?
Yeah, I think that like in the moments of like leading up to a mental breakdown, which is like, I just have those all the time. It's like you get tunnel vision. That's the worst part, is you have tunnel vision and all you can think about is what's going wrong, or like this specific scenario you're in. And it's like, that's something I have to get better at, is like being like, you're having tunnel vision. This one thing feels like your whole life, and I'm always like, I give up, I quit, like I don't want to do social media.
But now you can apply Sarah's advice and say, you know what, I'm tunnel vision right now, but I'm gonna give myself 24 hours.
And it's like 24 hours, you're like, oh, I'm okay now.
It's like, it was just like a little pebble. It was like that little fly around the room that you didn't even notice.
Yeah, but I also think that we've been really lucky about, like, there's definitely situations where what you're having a breakdown about is more like it's more of like an event, or it's an obstacle rather than just a feeling. But we've been really fortunate that we haven't had to experience a lot of that. So I think that's also a little bit different, and that's where the like 24 hours is really important, because it's kind of like how you're approaching some situation rather than just how you're feeling about something in a moment. That makes sense.
Now, this doesn't have to be UGC or content creation. It can be about just life in general. What is something that you feel like you're still learning?
I think more about myself, like as a person. The past 2 years, I've really like grown to be more confident, more outgoing. And I feel like it's a whole process. Like talking about my goth days, I used to be so like just scared of everything and hide behind everything and be shy and all of that. And while I'm still like quite introverted, I feel like I'm learning more about myself every day, if that makes sense. I'm learning what like makes me tick and what I enjoy and what I want to do for the rest of my life. Because like 2 years ago, I would have never thought I would be posting on social media. And like I've got a personal Instagram that I've had for years that I have like 5 photos on, and that's it. Like people don't know what I look like now from school because I don't have like Facebook, and my old like Instagram has a picture of me from like 5 years ago and things like that. So yeah, I think just going through life and like trusting the process. Like the past 2 years, I've really just had this like more of a spiritual journey and trusted the universe and just trusted that the path that I'm on, like with losing jobs and things like that, that it's okay, because it can be quite traumatic to lose a job and be like, oh my God, where's my life going to go and what am I going to do? And it's like the job market is hard at the moment and all of this. So it's nice to just step back, learn that like I will be okay, and I'm still learning in the process. Like I'm not an expert at UGC or social media and not an expert at anything really, and I like that. Like I think just the whole journey of you get creators online that are older, that say like they finally learned to love themselves in their 30s and that's where like I want to be. I want to get to a point where I'm, at the optimal health that I can be, and I found like just the little things, a hair care routine, a makeup routine, a skincare routine, and my day-to-day wellness and routine that fits for my lifestyle and, financially and just everything. I want it to like align, and I think I'll still be learning until that process like really just aligns and forms into like me as like the ultimate final boss or something, like the ultimate final person, which I think is a nice thing. I don't want it to be like, because we're all still learning, and I don't want it to be like all educational, like, oh, I'm gonna learn this, I'm gonna do that, and I do want to learn a new language and stuff like that, but at the same time I just want to learn more about myself as a person and how I can show up more for myself and other people around me while still growing as a human being, if that makes sense.
No, it does. I think that's like really spot on. I think that we get so carried away with not focusing on our like ourselves and like our, I guess like we would word it like our internal self, and in doing so you kind of end up just chasing other things that don't really work out, or you always end up being burnt out, or you're unhappy, or things don't work out, where it's like, yeah, if you really try to focus on like learning about who you are, what makes you tick, what makes you happy, how you can handle situations, it really does. It makes you like that final boss, that like most optimal to be able to kind of actually create the life that you want to create. It's like that big thing that we're kind of like really, I guess, falling into and like really passionate about, is understanding that until you kind of master, obviously you're never going to actually master yourself, because obviously there's always opportunities to grow, but actually be clear on who are you inside, and then how can I use that to an advantage to help me outside in the real world.
Yeah, I think about like, not like this is like not the like my peak, like I always think about like, well, that's like, I guess this year I've properly kind of started my like mental, physical, spiritual journey, and it's like, it's really exciting. It's like, even though it's like you kind of start from the bottom in a way, depending on your situation, it's super exciting. Like I always like wonder, it's like, well, I wonder what the final boss version of me is going to be like, and I think that's super exciting. And then even though it's kind of like, I guess that final boss thing is where you get to that point of knowing yourself, like truly knowing yourself, and I think loving yourself to the point where you don't let yourself do bad things, you don't let yourself
fall into bad habits.
Yeah, even like depending on the person, it's like something to me, it's like as little as me eating gluten makes me sick. And it's like, I'm excited to when I get to that point of I'm like actively making sure that I'm never eating anything with gluten. And it's like funny knowing I'm not there yet, but that's where I want to be. And sometimes for like me at least, it's not a switch. It's like I'm climbing a ladder. So it's like, yeah, it's like super exciting, like watching yourself climb the ladder, I guess, and then like learn new things that work for you, because that's like the funniest thing is on social media, and there's all these tips and tricks and health things, and especially like for women as well. It's like, oh my god, like glow up this, glow up that, like and like you just get to the point where you honestly have to ignore them, because it's like trial and error with yourself. You could follow someone's exact lifestyle and it could like completely revert your health journey. It's crazy. Yeah. So that's what's funny. It's like there's so many options out there now for everything. I think it's funny. It's like, for me, it's like stripping everything back and it's like starting again and working out like everything.
Yeah, you said that really well.
Yeah, 100%. Like it. You have to be careful what you consume on social media sometimes, because people are like morning shed and they're taking like 20 things off, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm literally doing like a big cough in the morning and that's my morning shed. Like, I like to get phlegm out my throat. I'm not doing this whole peeling everything off my face, it's just silly, and you have to like not be influenced by silly things like that, because it can make you worse, because you're on your own journey and you're on your own path and stuff. So yeah, it gets silly online.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know about you, but like I'm really interested in like holistic health and stuff like that. And it's like in my own experience, less is more. It's so cliche, but it's like I think when you're seeing situations where there's like 20 things, it's like usually there's 20 things are band-aid things for 3 things that could be solved with 2 things, and it's just like this whole thing.
100%.
We live in a overconsumptuous society where it's like, you know, you need that perfect life. It is going to take 20 things. You got to have this whole list, but you know, it's actually the opposites to kind of like not confuse you, but it's like, yeah, it's more, so many more people have a platform to give an opinion.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets confusing, where it's like, yeah, at the end of the day, the best life advice is less is more.
And I think that it's hard. Like, I think it's hard for people who are seeing, they open their phone and they're just nonstop seeing what they want. And that can be really hard, and that makes it worse. Like, that pushes you further into like a lack mindset, where it's like a lot of the time it's less things over a longer period of time that end up getting you there. But I think a lot of people are super afraid of like not having the time and not having the things, you know. It's just super deep.
Yeah, you're passionate about it. That's what all that matters. Something to be afraid of.
Love that.
Well, our final question. What do you want to be remembered for as a creator?
This is really hard, actually. I would say just being myself, as cringy as that sounds, because I don't know, I do feel like sometimes people don't show their personality as much online anymore, and it's just like, here's an opinion, here's a fact, here's a picture, here's a reel of a product, and you don't really get to know the person behind the screen. And I want people to be able to like see my account, and even if, you know, I don't show my face or something that week or whatever, because what I've posted, at least my captions will like have a bit of my personality, my stories would, and things like that. And I want people to be able to see that and go, I like that person, you know, I'd like to see that person create more content, and I want to see what this person's going to do next. So I don't know, I as cringy as it sounds, I just want to be known for being myself and like just being authentic and honest. And like, I'm not going to come on here and like these, you know, these influencers do that are like extremely famous at the moment, that like lie on their ads and things like that, with like, I don't know, an eyelash mascara tutorial, but they're wearing fake lashes and things like that. You know, I'd rather just like be authentic and someone just love that and then love my content essentially and want to watch it, and maybe eventually want to watch my YouTube if I ever get there.
I think that's so underrated. Like, I feel like so many more creators should have that headspace of, wait, what did you say? You said, I don't, you know, like it was just like that the key word that you said wanting to see more of me. Like that, like that's what's like underrated. I think so many creators kind of, especially now, kind of go in and go, oh, I want to hit this target, or I want to be portrayed this way, or I want them to like me for this. But it's like, no. You want them to like see your content and want to see more of like you.
Yeah, it's like this. I feel like there's like this pattern in social media where it's like there's like more than ever with Instagram and like the whole algorithm, there's now like this kind of cookie cutter type of account or accounts. It's like where it's almost like guaranteed success if you figure out how to film, post, do everything correctly. And so many accounts that are basically all the same, but you know, they're going really well and people have worked out what's working. And I just feel like this is going to forever also then be the trend of people exhausting themselves going, I was making money, but I'm miserable. Because I just think it's like that whole thing of we're meant to be ourselves, and it's like not being yourself is never going to work. And that's like, that'd be like the one piece of advice for any, not even like a content creator, but just like a person is, I think you start going places when you start being yourself, because that's when you attract like-minded people, you attract like-minded situations, and you know, to get all like manifestation, you're literally like vibrating at your frequency to attract the things that you're like, I can see.
I'm listening to you.
I'm trying not to look at you in the thing.
Oh, sorry. I'm just listening. Sorry.
Yeah, but it's just funny. It's like it's hard. I think people are like, it's sad that it's really good that you know that, and I think it's sad that people are still battling that whole thing of that opting to not be themselves because they're afraid of what is going to come with being themselves, which is super, super sad.
I think it's like, it's funny. People we almost kind of need to relearn how to be ourselves. It's like that whole thing of like, I guess to take it a step further, but it's like the whole concept of, you know, childhood trauma, in the sense that, you know, you're your most authentic self when you're a child. And then it's like the older you get, you lose your inner child, you get childhood trauma, it starts to progress and come out as the older you get, because you have to deal with the being an adult and the reality of that. And then especially coming into content creation, you then feel like, yeah, you gotta, to have success, you gotta fit this mold of what these other people are doing. And where, yeah, the whole goal really should be is, and again, like you said, outside of content creation, even just as a human being, kind of really work out how can you be yourself. Like, you got to reteach yourself and relearn and find, like, I guess, that inner child, and how you can really connect with that and connect with who you are. And then, yeah, you start being in a higher frequency, connecting with the right like-minded people, and then opportunities come your way because you are now just being your authentic self. And it's just sad, I guess, we have to relearn that in some way.
Yeah, I read something the other day actually, that you mentioned that, where like we miss out on like playtime as adults, because when we were younger we had like loads of like breaks and recess, and we had like lots of time and learning around play, even if it was like shapes and things. Like a lot of it was around play, and now as you get older you get less and less of that. You get less breaks, you get less time, it's just pure education. You jump into a job and you realize that there's no time for that like play in your life. And then that's where you get a bit like, you end up not being yourself. You get a bit down and a bit depressed because nothing really feels like fun anymore. So it's finding that, like, in creation, content creating in general, like finding that fun side of it and bringing back that like play almost, where you, as an adult, you kind of bring it back into your life, but it looks different. And you find things that you enjoy again and you like doing, whether that's like art or drawing or like, you know, just creating in general, going out for a coffee or like eating or whatever, like sleeping, napping, whatever it is. Like you find like your play again, you find your, what makes you buzz, what you enjoy. And that's nice. And it's nice to portray that in content as well. And I don't feel like people put that out there enough. They're like authentic selves where I'm like, oh, I really enjoyed doing this today for the first time and I'm going to continue doing it, and just things like that. And I feel like in the future I want to get to a point of that as well, where I'm like on a journey where like I'm trying new things and vlogging it, and like people can come along with the journey with me and things like that. So yeah, I think it would be nice having that, like bringing that play back into your life. I just feel like it's so important, but you just see it in a different aspect as an adult compared to when you're a toddler, because obviously you're not going to go and like play with shapes again like you did when you were 4. Do you know what I mean?
That it's funny, as you're saying that, it's like ringing true to my head. And it's, so I remember you got that book. It's that book, the YouTuber, and and he talk about the arts of play and the different type of things. But then connecting it back to what you said about, even like I did childcare for a bit, and that, it's so true. It's like you don't even realize, and it's like if they could only keep that into like school, actual like teenage year, high school and middle school or whatever it may be called. Childcare and shit, kindergarten. It's like you play outside. When you're learning shapes, you're playing. When you're learning colors, whatever it may be, you're singing, you're connecting dots, whatever it may be, you're constantly playing and you're learning. And it's like, yeah, that lack of play really does, I guess, have such a negative effect. And then that's what's so good about that book, kind of really showing you about which ways can you reconnect with what your form of play is now, and then how you can integrate that within your like life.
Yeah, it's like we're literally just big children And we can still, there's like this weird misconception that's like obviously super outdated, that adults aren't meant to have fun at work, at school. It's like, that's completely not true. It's like people want to associate adults having fun with misbehaving, but it's like being like scientifically proven that like the best learning methods are to do with like gamifying something. It's like, I'm trying to learn a language at the moment, and I've been researching because we're so busy, but I'm really, really like set on learning. I've been researching like methods to help, and I've just recently found all this stuff about how the best way everyone's saying is like, literally, it's like as if you're a child when you learn your first language, you watch like a really basic cartoon, or the one I watched the other day was like a man like drawing on a whiteboard, and he's like telling the Goldilocks story, but you have to sit there and like a game, you have to guess what he's saying by the pictures. And it's so funny because it's like, I feel like we kind of get fed this whole thing of with like academia. I think the world's definitely like, it favors the academic route over the creative route, but I just feel like I completely disagree. And like, I just feel like people are meant to be creative. And it's just like, that's the thing. It's like, you don't think of a child being academic, you know, like naturally they're like children are creative. So it's like, yeah. I'm sorry.
That's so true.
You get nervous every time you're like going on like a good rhythm. You're like building rhythm and momentum, and then you get nervous.
I think I'm like talking for too long, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, am I like changing like topics too much? And then it's like, oh, how long have I been talking for?
You're doing great. Don't worry.
Yeah, but it's like super funny. It's like I started doing like, because we have our 9 to 5 job, and it's really repetitive for me. So I was like on ChatGPT, and I was like, how can I like make work like more fun? Like, you know, I can't like go on my phone, I can't listen to music or anything. And it was like saying like, and it works. I've like been doing it for a week. You like split the hours up, and then each hour is like themed. So then for that 1 hour, it's like, so I did it in a way as like my first hour of work, I have to say affirmations to myself for an hour. And I kind of end up like, I start and then I forget I'm doing it, and then I check the time and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like half an hour left of my affirmations, and it makes the time go faster and the day like way better. It's super funny. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a good way to do it, to be fair, because otherwise you are literally sitting doing the same thing for hours, and it can be really boring. And like I get like that with hobbies, where I have to just like take a step back and find something else that's fun. Otherwise, if I do something like drawing, I will just get bored and then never go and touch it again, kind of thing. So I have to like you said, find things that actually keep you going in the day in order to make it more exciting. And I feel like that's really important with a 9 to 5. Otherwise, it literally can get like really draining mentally, because you are doing like exactly the same thing for hours on end.
Yeah, and like hobbies are hard too, because like I've tried all different like creative hobbies and have gotten bored from them. And it's like I've kind of worked out that some hobbies are more like therapeutic, and it's like I'm still trying to find hobbies that like to me are like I'm actually like going somewhere with them. It is hard. It's really hard to find the right ones.
Yeah, I get bored so easily. And if like when I was younger, and when I was like drawing and developing my drawing, as soon as like a teacher said like, oh, like your drawings come across like really well, you're doing really well, like well done, I would instantly just be like, okay, I'm done with that, completed it, bye. And I just never do it again. And it's so bad. And I still do it now. And like me and my friends, I said earlier, getting into like air dried clay and making stuff. And like we are actually, they make it look so easy online, but it's really not. Like we are struggling just to get like things smooth and connect things. Like it's so hard. And then she's like, I won't tell you that you're doing a good job, because you'll end up being like, no, done, and sacking it off and never doing it again. And I was like, that's so true. I need to just like commit to something for a long time, learn it, and then actually see results from it.
It's funny how setting a goal or like, and maybe not an expectation, but it can really like help achieve something. Like I it's the same thing. Like I used to draw as well, and then I like kind of was just wanting to draw my like favorite characters, and I did that, and then I was like, oh, I don't know what to draw now. I guess I'm done. And then I like stopped drawing, and it's just that thing because I remember like listening to a podcast, and he's like this guy. He's boxing at the moment. He's really enjoying it because he's like brand new. He's got to learn. He's like he's got to evolve and practice, and it's not like something that like really easy to nail. And it's just that whole thing of sometimes when you're doing a hobby or whatever it is, or it's the same thing at work. When you work at a retail job, you're doing the same thing over and over again. You're not really achieving anything. You're not really getting better. You don't really feel like you're improving in any way. So then, yeah, finding a way, like you said, to think about things or separate things into different things. It's like you're entering a new level, a new game at any moment. Or like, yeah, like you're saying with the clay thing, instead of kind of going, oh yeah, I've achieved this. I've made one cool thing. I'm done now. I'm an expert. It's kind of like, you know, that having that mentality of, it reminds me of that saying, what is it? It's like when you're at the top, you're not as hungry as someone who's at the bottom. So if you always assume you're at the bottom, you're always going to keep striving, even if you are at the top.
Yeah, I feel like my like experiences of like trying hobbies or whatever has ended up me like self-sabotaging, where I actually really like it, but then I can't accept the fact that if I want to develop this skill or this talent, it's going to be hard, and then there's going to be ups and downs and failures, and I don't know how long it's going to take. And I think that's always stopped me from doing things. But then that's the thing that makes people really good at something, and that's what's crazy.
It reminds me of the chair. You're like painting, she like paints a particular way and like squiggles all the colors together, and it like looks like really cool. It's like different layers. Oh, it's all the way over there. I can't grab it. And she had a chair that before we moved down to Melbourne, she had a wooden chair in her room, and she's like, oh, should I paint this chair? And I was like, yeah, this looks really cool. And she like started, it was like looking really, really funky, really cool. And she got like halfway through it, and then yeah, started doing that exact same thing. You were just like, I don't know anymore. This feels like kind of hard. Like, what if I get to it and I finish it? I'm like, I don't like the colors anymore. It's like, oh, you know, I don't know what to do. And then yes, and now it's just like this half painted chair. It's like 6 lines of like the backing of the chair, and it's like 2 of them have been painted in. The chair seat itself's been painted in, but then like the top half is like wooden.
Yeah,
it's funny.
I had like another chair, and I was like, oh my god, it'd be so cool if I wrapped yarn all around this chair. So I like started, and I don't know, I did like 3 legs and like the back of it, and then I just stopped. And so it just looks so ridiculous. It's like a plastic outdoor chair, half wrapped in yarn.
You got to know that's going to be hard, but you will succeed. And when you succeed, you'll then improve your skills.
Yeah, it's just like that thing of like avoiding discomfort. It's like, I just like, you know, it's normal for people to just kind of flee from any form of discomfort, no matter how small or like insignificant, or like, you know, me finishing my yarn chair has no like detrimental effects to my well-being. But I was like, no,
can't do that. It's going to be too difficult.
That's so funny. That's kind of like art in itself. Like that's your symbolism. Your yarn chair, it shows your creative process and like where you started and stopped, and like how you think about your hobbies. It's like so interesting. I want to see a picture of your yarn chair.
I have to get my parents to take it back. It was outside under the house, and it was like getting covered in like cobwebs. I don't know what, if they've like still got it. I wouldn't blame them if they threw it out.
Were you doing different colors? I don't even think I saw it.
Yeah, it was hidden. It was like this really pretty. Like I bought this yarn, this really nice yarn, and it's like that whole thing of like, I hear it, it's like such an unoriginal experience of like when you like stickers. So as a kid you have stickers, but then you never use them because you're like, I don't know where to put them, but I love them so much that they just stay on the sticker sheet. Or I would buy erasers. I would buy erasers, and I wouldn't use the erasers because I was like, it will ruin them. And I would have like animal shaped erasers, and it's like, I can't start using it. And it's like, yeah, it's like, that's why I bought yarn, and it was so pretty. And then like I wanted to crochet something actually practical, but then I was like, no, I'm gonna cover a chair instead, so then I can like, I don't know, look at it or something.
Dude, it's creative. It's good.
Yeah.
It's for what you said. Just reminds me of that time. It's like the same thing. I remember I got like those stick-on tattoos,
Oh yeah.
and it was like Star Wars theme, and I had like General Grievous, and it was like the only General Grievous like thing in there, and it was like on his face, and I was like, I'm keeping this. Like this is the best thing. I cannot use it. So I like got all of the other ones, stuck them all to my arm, but then had this General Grievous thing in this case, and then like I remember, I'm like, I'm keeping this forever. My brother came over, and he was like, what? I don't know, 5 at the time.
Yeah.
And so like
Oh, no.
I pull it out and I show him like, yo, I got General Grievous, look at this tattoo. And I put it on the table. And then he's like, that's so cool. Then like swings his arm like this, hits like my cup of water, goes on it, and like completely just like drenches, and like, you know, like and then like it just like basically rips. And I was just started crying, and it was just that thing of like, it's just so funny of like going like, oh my gosh, like I don't know what to do with this. This is so perfect. Then you just end up missing the opportunity to kind of like be creative with it.
I thought you were gonna say he stuck it on himself, like while you weren't looking. It was like, look at my tattoo.
It's not that clever. Instead, he just like in excitement knocks the water.
It's so funny. It's so funny. Humans are very funny.
Yes.
So we're like a little secretly like little hoarders and hoarding all the things that we like, all the little trinkets.
It's what makes it even funny is like that fear. It's all backing of like not wanting to lose something, or like you said, that fear of like, oh, what if it doesn't turn out right? And then you end up it's like the same thing. I did it with something else too, and I lost it. We moved houses and I lost it. It's like anything that I've actually enjoyed or liked, and it's like if I just used it or how it was meant to be, or like I don't know how, whatever way you want to say it, you know, I would have got more enjoyment out of it. Instead, I like had to like preserve it because I was scared that, you know, it would ruin it.
Like that's the word, preserve. It's like when you're like a kid and you're like your parent gets like a really good food and you're like, oh my gosh, like once I eat it, it's gonna be gone. And then now you're an adult and you can buy like whatever food you want. It feels so weird. Like, I'm still not used to the fact that like if I really want to, I can go out and buy like 10 tubs of Nutella. But it was like contraband when I was little.
That is funny. I saw something online a while ago where it was like, just use your favorite perfume, because some people like their favorite things and they don't want to use them up, or they don't want to like spoil it because they don't know when they're going to have like a nice event to go to and use that perfume. But it's like if you don't use it, you're never going to use it. So you might as well just enjoy the things that you like and use them in your day-to-day life. And I've just been like trying to practice that and use up things. Otherwise I end up just like hoarding random stuff and being like, well, that's out of date now. Kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's
like
so
with
true.
makeup too, especially like with makeup. It's like I have like some palettes that are like, I don't know how many years old, but I just didn't use them.
Yeah.
Because it's like, especially like so many products, even though like everything's like mass produced, they're all limited edition. So it's like if I use this, it's gonna be gone. Oh my gosh, what if I can't find something the same? And this makes me so happy, but it's like,
yeah, we went to use it for like a video, and like it wasn't even like going on like the brush board, like it was just like flaking as you like brushed the shade.
Yeah, it's like you just gotta seize the moment in the time that you have the thing and enjoy it, rather than like rob yourself of enjoying it by not letting yourself have it.
Well, you go to that other extreme. It's like when I had like that Johnny Walker blue, and I was like trying to save it for like special occasions, and then you're like, that's so stupid, you've like not even opened it, and then you were like, you should just drink it, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, fine, and then I drank the whole bottle, and then I started vomiting. I was like, oh, this didn't work out. It's like you just end up ruining the thing you were trying to preserve.
Yeah, it's like finding the balance. It's like you almost have to like install routines with things. Have one glass like every 2 days.
You have to manage yourself as an adult, and I find that quite funny because, like, what our parents did to us when we were younger. Like, no, you can't have 20 scoops of ice cream. Like, we could do that now, but we have to be like sensible because it does actually have an effect on us. Like, it won't be good for your stomach. We know that now. Like, literally, when we drink too much and getting hungover, and we just can't survive. And our parents are like, "I told you so," and it's like,
yeah, we're all just like reparenting.
Yeah,
ourselves.
in some way, it's so true.
mm.
Well, I guess we got a bit sidetracked at the end there, but it was fun.
Yeah, it was nice.
Thank you so much for jumping on and joining us. I hope you had fun. We definitely had fun. And,
yeah, really nice. Thank you guys for having me. It was really fun. It was nice to catch up and like finally meet you guys and have chats. It was good.
Well, enjoy the rest of your day. We gotta unfortunately get ready for bed now.
Oh yeah.
But early work in the morning. But
oh god. Have a good evening and have a good sleep.
we will.
Thank
We will.
you.
Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk
You
soon.
too. Bye.
Bye.